Hello and welcome to my presentation. As you can read on the screen, my topic is self-esteem's impact on academic performance. So let's just jump into it. So this is my abstract. If this were a real research article and I didn't have to worry about getting past the IRB, making sure it's all ethically sound, and actually having some findings that are worth publishing, then other students or researchers might be interested in reading this bit of this article as a basic summary. As I'm going to be covering that later, I'm going to be kind of glossing over this part if you don't mind me. Real-world significance. So why is this important? Well, if there is an actual link between self-esteem and grade point average, individuals, schools, and instructors may be willing to put more emphasis on mental health or trying to raise student self-esteem if it follows that they would make their school look better and get more funding. How does it apply to the real world? Well, since it's a quasi-experiment, its results will already have higher external validity. And since in this faux experiment, the population is a real college and the sample is are real students, it would also follow. This relates very much to the real world. Furthermore, this also has findings in past research. Here's my first article. The aim of this study was to measure if being a minority or a majority ethnic group student in an elementary school affected children's self-esteem. They also wanted to see if either variable correlated with higher academic achievement. They also collected things like tardiness, overall classroom behavior, and attendance. They collected what is essentially an inventory for self-esteem, very similar to the Rosenberg scale, in which I used. To measure academic performance, they used end-of-year report cards for each participant, which, keep in mind, is also something I'm doing. However, instead of using report cards, which is on paper and inconvenient for not only student and researcher, I'm using but it's essentially a digital portal, Canvas. It's accessible to every Middlesex College student, to professors, and of course very easy to be sent since it is all electronic. The other reason why I chose this as a contribution is it heavily supported my GPA, that self-esteem and GPA, one is higher, the other will be higher. Results and findings. Well, they found data that being a minority student not only correlated with a lower academic performance, but it did also end up taking a hit to their self-esteem. Not only did they find actual statistically significant data supporting this, there was also a stronger link between self-esteem and performance in younger students, which is interesting for me as I'm wondering if this will actually translate to the older kids, the college students, who are, for the sake of this experiment, 18 to 29 years old. My second article. Apologies, it's cut off, but this study measured the correlation between positive and negative self-esteem memories and academic performance. Researchers measured if memories veered towards more social aspects or academic ones in recall. So what does this mean? Essentially, a couple children were given the task of recalling certain memories, whether they be positive or negative, and the topics of those memories, as well as their grades, were monitored, and they saw if there were any correlations. What they did find was that children who recalled positive memories mostly included achievements or academic topics. Meanwhile, negative memories usually included more social themes. The themes of achievement, however, in both positive and negative in this study, were correlated to higher grades across the board. So why did I use this study? I utilized this study because it was a nice contrast between the long effect terms I was seeing in my experiment versus the short effect recall of these children, and I thought that was very interesting to compare to mine. All right, here's the third article that I am sort of referencing. Sorry for moving the little box so much. All right. So researchers look to see in this article if cultural identity and self-esteem related to personal resources, overall academic performance, and problem behaviors. The sample included about 2,000 students for a 3-year-long study. They came from 3 diverse Native American cultural groups in Western US. So what did they find? They found that self-esteem and their trajectories had a significant correlation in the experiment. However, in this experiment, which contrasts to the first article, cultural identity in the study was not statistically significant enough, I am so sorry, to be considered linked to end-of-year performance, personal resources, and problem behaviors. Meanwhile, the first one found that there was a link between being a minority race and self-esteem, in which their self-esteem would take a hit. This one didn't find enough data to support that. I find this interesting because it also could be affected by the dynamics of being a part of a minority versus a majority group, in which that sort of dynamic would have more an effect on it. Meanwhile, this study is comparing just one ethnic group. Very interesting, in my personal opinion. So the reason why I use this one is rather obvious. Not only is it a longitudinal study, which I'm also using, not as long, 3 months versus 3 years. It was actually a rare instance of my age range being actually utilized in this study. As you can see with the other 2 articles, that it was very hard to find college-aged kids. Most of them were about children or adolescents, which is not the most convenient when you're trying to do a study on college-aged kids. For the sake of our experiment, 18 to 29-year-olds. So what were my research questions? Excuse me as I fiddle with the box. 1. I wanted to see whether or not there was a correlation between low self-esteem and lower grade point averages. 2. To cover my bases, if there was a correlation between high self-esteem and a higher grade point average, as well as average self-esteem and higher grade point averages. Furthermore, I was interested in finding out whether or not you could interchange one as the IV or DV, meaning really if there is a link between self-esteem and grade point average, does one predict the presence of the other? Meaning, if self-esteem is our IV and GPA is our DV, could we flip-flop them? The hypotheses. Just to cover my bases, going along with my research question, I first stated, A, there is a positive association between low self-esteem and lower grade point averages in Middlesex College students, and B, there is a positive association between high self-esteem and average to higher self-esteem in Middlesex College students. Methods. Alright, most of this I already covered, but just to reiterate, the grades will be collected via Canvas, electronically convenient, good for us, and once again the professors will be collecting these to ensure zero confounds in the student, maybe trying to make their grades look better than they actually are. Clustering method is unfortunately going to have to be self-selection. As this is a quasi-experiment, there really is no way we can feasibly do random assignment. So our internal validity does take a hit, however, our external validity does benefit in its place. Alright, like I mentioned, the independent variable is self-esteem. To make this a quantitative variable, I use the Rosenberg self-esteem scale. Dependent variable is academic performance. Once again, to make this a quantitative variable, I made this into a 0 to a 4-point scale using GPA. Midterm and end of term. So what's being done to the IVs that they're manipulated? Well, I decided to, once again, put them into 3 groups, according to low, 0 to 14, high, 26 to 30, which is really abnormally high for the average, and of course the average population, which usually ranges from 15 to 25. What will we use to measure the DV? Well, GPA, like I said, will be measured at different points, midterm and end of term. And just for future reference, here is the exact scale that is going to be used and given to participants. All right, the proposal. So to cover all of our ethical bases, of course, they will be asked to sign a consent form, and if they want to drop out at any time, they can. The researcher will also be reading them along as they read the consent form to make sure that they are aware we're taking their GPAs, and we are also measuring their self-esteem, and they will be given the questionnaire, and they will be given access to therapy if any time they need it, etc., etc. So the questionnaires, like I said, excuse me, the RSE, or the Rosenberg Self-Esteem Questionnaire, as seen before, will be given to them. They will be taking them in individual rooms, and once they are done, they will leave the testing room made aware of all the things they have to submit, and they will be frequently reminded. All right. We will be retaking the RSE 2 weeks before finals, and they will submit their grades at this point to control confounds of stress by finals, and their self-esteem scores may be lower because of that stress if they take it that close to finals. The same thing would follow with, before I meant midterms. Same things would follow with finals here, as they would return to take the questionnaire and submit their grades 2 weeks prior to the last day of school, or that semester. However, again, to cover our ethical bases, despite deception not being used, participants will be debriefed as to why everything was collected and why their time was spent participating in this experiment. They will all be rewarded $50 each for their participation. Right, proposed results. I conducted an independent group post-test only design, and because it is a quasi, self-selected groups, no random assignment. There are 3 levels to the 1 independent variable and only 1 DV. I'm using a one-way ANOVA test, as I have 3 groups for my independent variable. Therefore, the statistical sign is F. Here is my graph with projected results. Of course, these were kind of just made up to support the statistics behind this. And here are my references. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye.